Let's dive right into this explainer. If you've been feeling a deep, persistent fatigue lately, like the kind of good night's sleep just can't seem to fix, you are absolutely not alone. Today, we're validating that exact exhaustion. We're going to explore the actual science behind modern burnout, and more importantly, how we can use biology and proven microhabits to reclaim our focus and energy from the modern world.
Let's kick things off with a pretty staggering number: $300 billion. That is the estimated amount that U.S. businesses lose every single year due to workplace stress. And it's affecting a massive 83% of all workers. So this isn't just a personal failing or a lack of hustle. This is a huge systemic issue that is costing us mentally, physically, and economically. In fact, the trend forecasting firm WGSN has actually coined a term for this cultural era we're living in. They call it the Great Exhaustion. Basically, it's a widespread sensation of burnout resulting from a modern polycrisis. We are all juggling unrelenting work demands, childcare pressures, income inequality, and just this constant, unavoidable barrage of digital noise that totally drains our cognitive reserves.
And speaking of that digital noise, it is honestly no wonder our brains are hitting a wall. Experts estimate that by this year, 2026, up to 90% of all content on the internet could be generated by AI. 90%. We are being inundated with way more information and misinformation than our evolutionary capacities were ever designed to handle.
So what is actually happening under the hood of our tired bodies? Let's get into part 1, your brain on artificial light and the biological trap.
Deep inside your hypothalamus lies a pretty incredible structure called the suprachiasmatic nuclei, or the SCN. You can think of the SCN as the master clock in your brain. This tiny but incredibly powerful structure relies entirely on light signals from your retina to set your body's circadian rhythm, which dictates exactly when you should be alert and when you should be asleep.
But how does that light signal actually reach your master clock? Well, it happens through specialized cells in our retinas called iPRGCs. Now, these aren't your standard rods and cones that just help you see shapes and colors. These cells use a specific pigment called melanopsin to basically act as light integrators. They specifically detect short-wavelength blue light and send that critical time zone information straight up the optic nerve to your SCN.
And right here is where we fall into the biological trap. Think about the broad, continuous spectrum of natural daylight at different times of day. Now compare that to artificial LED screens and fluorescent lights, which emit these intense, jagged spectral peaks. To your visual system, it might just look like normal white light, but to your master clock, those sharp blue peaks are incredibly confusing.
The bottom line is that staring at these artificial screens late into the evening comes with a very real biological cost. That short wavelength light signals to your brain that it's daytime, which directly suppresses your body's natural melatonin production. It delays your sleep phase, cutting into your deep, restorative sleep. We are literally rewiring ourselves for exhaustion just by scrolling on our phones before bed.
And while we're walking around biologically out of sync, the market is definitely responding. Part 2, marketing to the burned out, and how brands exploit fatigue.
There is a massive disconnect right now between what we actually need and what's being sold to us. Consumers are desperately craving a digital disconnect. People want real-world peace, like visiting Finland's voluntarily phone-free tourist island. But brand tactics? They are doubling down on this constant digital pummeling to keep our attention. I mean, we're seeing Coach erecting augmented reality store windows to stop you in your tracks, and Louis Vuitton literally deploying drone advertising in the sky.
Instead of actually helping us unplug, the market just treats our exhaustion as another upsell opportunity. Look at some of the dystopian solutions brands are rolling out. You've got mattress companies opening sleep hotels with bedtime stories on the menu. You can order a melatonin margarita on room service. Yes, really, a melatonin margarita. Burger King in Brazil even used facial recognition algorithms to detect how hungover people looked, just to offer them a discount. They are actively capitalizing on our total burnout.
But here's the good news. You do not need to buy a corporate solution to fix a biological problem. Let's move to part 3, micro habits for mental clarity, featuring free, science-backed solutions.
First things first, we have to address our attention deficit. Research from Harvard University highlights a shocking statistic. We spend nearly 47% of our waking hours mentally distracted. We're physically in one place, but our minds are a million miles away. And this constant mental wandering is exactly what fuels our stress, our anxiety, and just an overall dissatisfaction with life.
So, let's look at a highly effective microhabit to combat this, the 4-4-6 breathing technique. It's so simple but incredibly powerful. You inhale deeply through the nose for 4 counts. You hold your breath for 4 counts. And then you exhale slowly through the mouth for 6 counts. Doing this rapidly activates your parasympathetic nervous system, naturally calming your body and lowering your heart rate in less than a minute.
And the best part is that the data proves these micro-habits actually work in the real world. Simply practicing a little mindfulness during your daily commute can reduce your stress levels by an impressive 30%. On top of that, maintaining consistent mindfulness practices is linked to a 15% boost in workplace productivity. It literally gives you your focus back. You don't need to sit cross-legged on a mountain for an hour to get these benefits either. Just integrating tiny practices into your day is enough. Try a single conscious breath reset. That takes like 30 seconds. Use the 5-4-3-2-1 sensory grounding exercise to snap out of an anxious loop. Do a brief body scan right at your desk, or just try mindful walking, which studies show can boost creative thinking by up to 60%. These small habits physically rewire your prefrontal cortex over time.
Now, combining those mindful pauses with proper biological alignment is where the real magic happens. Part 4. Reclaiming your natural rhythm through the power of light.
Clinical chronobiology gives us the ultimate, completely natural antidote to the Great Exhaustion: bright light therapy. And this isn't about staring at another screen or buying some complicated gadget. It is simply about resynchronizing your master clock. Taking a regular 1-hour morning walk in natural daylight provides the exact broad-spectrum light those cells in your eyes need to set your circadian rhythm. This one habit can drastically improve your evening sleep and your daytime mood.
So, as we all try to navigate this modern polycrisis, with all its digital noise, stressful demands, and targeted ads, I want to leave you with one final question. The next time you feel that deep, overwhelming fatigue, how are you going to respond? Will you buy into a dystopian brand solution like a melatonin margarita just to cope? Or will you simply put your phone away, reclaim your biology, and step out into the morning sun?